Yeah, this is probably going to get stricken down for the Seinfeld.
Well,
yeah. Sorry, Jerry's not here.
I didn't know you thought that way about dogs. I don't think they're a complete waste of space. I don't think we should shoot them all into the sun, like you said.
I mean, that's something to be concerned about. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Not the best one I can think of. But.
Yeah, I mean, if you're just going to blatantly rip off Tom Segura, at least give him a little shout-out. But, hey, that's how when we did the run-throughs, what happened every time? It's like we ended up just being a podcast about other podcasts. So, hey, if that's the way she goes. But as long as we're not Steven Crowder.
Just podcasting about podcasts?
Like a lore cast? Like a podcast lore cast?
There is a podcast about podcasts. They advertise it on NPR.
The first guy was who? Adam Carolla?
That guy sucks.
He was the first guy to have a podcast?
He just sucks.
To have an official podcast.
Well, that's a shame.
Like Howard Stern kind of...
Yeah.
It started somewhat of the model, but Adam Carolla was the first guy to actually have a podcast. Like it was called a podcast back in 2005, I think.
I tell you what, though. Whatever we can do to make Steven Crowder less than a person, I think he's doing. That's what I'm on.
I think he's doing a good job.
I'm riding that boat
legal.
To the end.
Yeah. Legal. Whatever legal means. If they're like, you're censoring me on YouTube, yes. Censor me, too. If it means that he gets censored.
Yep.
Like, censor me, too, for sure.
You'll bite that
for
bullet.
sure.
Mm-hmm.
Like, because I forgot when I used someone else's service that I had the right to tell them what they could limit me to do while I'm using their service. The next time someone's mowing my lawn, I'm going to tell them, like, hey, you need to get off that zero turn and let my ass ride it because I'm paying you, and that's my freedom of speech to ride your lawnmower.
If you pay a kid to cut your lawn,
absolutely,
and he's not cutting it the way you want,
you should ride him.
He doesn't.
You should ride him.
He doesn't start
like a horsey.
He doesn't. When
you get on the shoulders.
When you come out and tell him, I don't like the way you're mowing my lawn that I'm paying you for, he doesn't say, free speech, you're censoring me. That's basically kind of what's happening.
That's right.
With Stephen Crowder. Or is he a Steven?
He's French Canadian.
Is he a V or a F?
It's probably his real name is probably something like Stephane Crowder Molyneux.
Stephane Crowder.
Like something like real French. He's a French Canadian too.
I just call him Steve.
Really?
Steve Crowder.
Yeah.
Steve Crowder.
It's a shame.
Oh goodness.
Well, let's not ruin a good thing talking about that.
Wait, so he's French Canadian, so he's cut from the surrender variety. Like
absolutely.
He likes to give up.
His nationality is
when the going gets tough. Yeah, his nationality is literally a white flag. Yeah.
That's why he wears those suspender bullet holster things.
Mm-hmm.
Like, if something else doesn't scream like, if my hands are small, something else must be small. Wearing the fucking...
Does he have guns in
the shoulder holster?
Yeah, he does. He does. He wears them. But the shoulder holster...
Yeah.
That's some shit that you wear when you have, like, a jacket. Those are, meant to wear under, a coat.
I think that's just for Wild West reenactments. I don't think human beings in 2020 are intended...
a lot of 90s cop...
Wear, a coat over that shit.
That's the kind of thing you dress up and wear on a Wednesday with your wife.
Where you enjoy having your gun.
It might be easier.
Comfortable. What's the most comfortable?
Actually, the guy who popularized
the
holsters like that was... It was actually popularized by Steve McQueen in Bullet. He wore those shoulder holsters, and that's why they're so popular in American culture now. But he based that off of... It was a detective in San Francisco in the 70s. His name was, Tucci or something. I'm serious. I'm not kidding. That's who Bullet, Steve McQueen...
Desmond Tutu?
Steve McQueen, Bullet, and Clint Eastwood, from Dirty Harry, based their looks and their acting off of
Desmond Tutu.
That guy.
Yeah, the detective, Desmond Tutu.
No, not Stanley Tucci or Desmond Tutu.
Commonly known by his stage name,
Stanley Tucci. Desmond Tutu are one and the same.
I thought it was Don Cheadle. Was it that Don Cheadle played Desmond Tutu, or the Desmond Tutu played Don Cheadle?
What was this guy's name?
I'm not sure. It's one of the two.
I'm not sure who Tucci is.
I don't.
Sorry, David Toschi.
Oh yeah, that's who I thought.
Toschi. David Toschi.
It's Greek to me.
See, he invented the shoulder holster.
He invented it?
No. but he popularized it. Well, he wore one, and it was popularized by Frank
Steve
Bullitt.
McQueen saw him.
Yeah.
Let's just say it's well known that guy didn't take a Magnum XL.
Well,
Let's just say it's well known.
He became famous because of
the.
Well, he took an extra small. That's the joke.
He became famous because of the Zodiac Killer.
Oh, sure. Yeah, there we go.
So he became famous for being a failure. He never caught the guy.
Basically, did you see they just deciphered the cipher in Australia a couple weeks back?
Did they for real? I saw a bunch of memes,
No,
but I didn't know they actually did.
They can't.
What did it say?
They haven't catch the guy, but there a bunch of the letters he sent to the cops with he was using some weird cipher language.
Yeah, I know.
Some
I know. What
scientists
you're
in Australia figured it out. Now I'm guessing then there wasn't enough language in those letters to prove who he was, but they figured out what a lot of the letters say now, which is crazy. 50 years later.
Good for that Australian.
Yeah, good for you, mate.
And you know the government probably
throw
paid
a shrimp on the bobby on me, bruh.
50 years later.
The evil socialist.
Did I say bruv?
50 years later.
I feel like I say bruv.
I think that's more of a
I know it's like an English thing.
Northern London thing.
Yeah, but they're all
like
descendants from English
bastards.
Well, not. I mean, just convicts.
Bastard criminal.
Yeah, criminals. Bastard and criminal aren't synonyms.
A lot of times.
Sometimes they can be.
If you listen to conservative media, that's the only way you have one is if the father's not present, and they make sure they stay African American usually too. But you know that is what it is. It's terrible, but it's a plague on our society. Conservative media. What can you do? It's making grandparents ignorant. They were already not,
Rupert
most
Murdoch,
with it.
Rush Limbaugh, Glenn Beck, all of them.
Being like they're 67
Our do-it-yourself skills are just shitty compared to theirs.
I mean, perhaps.
Depends on what, you know.
How old was Glenn Beck when he started his podcast? How old was Rush Limbaugh? 45, I would say. We got a lot of time left.
I mean, Rush Limbaugh, God rest his cancer, but he has, made people more ignorant. So I don't know if his role can be replicated.
But he has been a success in his medium.
In his view of success, yes.
Yes.
I'm
not saying it's good success.
In that education is a public good, Rush Limbaugh is a public evil.
He's successful as
you're gonna say not
we should take
a public not good.
We should take more money from him. Just because he does bad things. The way he makes money is inherently bad.
Yes.
For society.
Yes.
Sin tax.
Yes. Yeah, sin tax. I like that language especially. Let's tack on it. Well, see, then you have information police. And then it gets dangerous. But if it starts with Steven Crowder and what's McCullough, if we end up in full fascism, at least I got to laugh with a little free speech while those people were, fully quenched, if you will. That'll be worth it.
Fully clinched?
The fires that are their fake conservatism will be quenched. They'll be put out.
Oh, quenched. Oh, you said clinched.
Quenched with the Q.
Clinched assholes.
Yeah,
that's more what I was picturing.
Well, and being that they're conservative and anti-gay, that might be a prognosis there. There might be some clinching going on.
When karma comes around,
it's not good for you.
Nope.
Can't hit a baseball with a tight
It's not
B-hole.
good for the kidneys.
No, that's what they always say. You can't hit a baseball with a tight B-hole. That's what Matt used to always say.
Is that a fact?
So yes, actually. So Matt would say that. Quoted 100%. So he'd be like, John, just relax your butthole. You gotta relax your butthole. And I'd be like, I'm hitting it way farther than you.
Did you try it?
I don't know how
way farther than
Did you try it though?
To the extent that I have no in my view, ability to do anything with my butthole conscientiously, I believe I gave it a shot to the extent that could be given.
So, do you clinch up when you're swinging?
I don't notice the beehole.
Basically, at all. So you don't know if you do or not.
Basically, you should
you don't know if you have relax the butthole and die. It
All
may
I
give
know
you
is-
another like 20 feet. You don't know.
So to be a good hitter, you have to basically completely succumb to the fact you might shit in your pants.
Yeah, at all
Like,
times.
fully
yeah.
shit
You have to
yourself.
fully commit to the game.
Yeah.
All I know
That's
is
what makes baseball so beautiful.
we played on this field for
Selfless,
like
really.
Mm-hmm.
years, like 4 years. Hit baseballs on this field.
How many times did you shit yourself?
Never.
Mm,
Neither did him. But by the
hard to
time that
believe.
we got old enough that we should be able to hit home runs, I probably hit hundreds, and he hit one. So, like, keep your batting advice, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Squash that.
Does he have a better average?
Wasn't he like really good though?
He might have in that league. His high school stats cannot be found, but he did hit for a better average than me. But
Well,
if
there
you
you go.
watched us take BP, it would be like, hey, it's nice you let your retard brother hit around. Just because, like, all he would get is, like, little, like, dinker line shots.
Get you on base, though.
And I'm hitting, like, you know, like,
Yeah.
like just, like, dingers. You know, like, pretty solid dingers. It'd be like,
But
it'd
with
be
the
like,
clinch-
that's nice you let your little retard brother
But
hit.
you were all clinched.
I don't.
You
I
could have
may or may
been
not
fucking knocking them.
Let it be clear that Matt is not an R word that we're aware of, not diagnosed. And he was good at hitting a baseball for average. He could probably bat like 300 in MLB. He couldn't field or run the bases particularly well. At that level, like for high
You
school and
think
stuff,
he
he
could
was
hit a
good.
major league baseball and
300.
get on base?
Yeah. Right now, just wherever he's at, you could just.
I
plop
always
him.
heard Matt was pretty good.
You could against a right-handed hitter because he's a lefty. So lefties don't like lefties usually.
That was
I
like
don't
the
remember
one
seeing-
thing that he
seeing
had.
Matt do a lot of lefty on lefty. A righty that throws 95 or less, which would be most MLB pitchers. Yeah,
That's the one thing.
Ten at
I've
bats.
never seen
10
him
at
play.
bats.
the one
I
thing
would
he
almost
had,
guarantee he got a legit base hit. Like not an error, like a legit hit that no one could field, and he reached first base safely. Absolutely. Out of 10 tries, if somehow he's incentivized and he knows
Yeah.
that he can't like spite me somehow by failing or something, as long as my
Spite his father.
Yes, as long as my involvement is anonymous and he has some sort of incentive, he could. I would bet more in 10 attempts.
I could
10
see
at
that.
bats. You know, like he goes
It's
on
not
play
that
10
hard to
times.
believe.
He'd get one legit base knock.
From what I've
I
heard,
even think
believe
I-
it.
I've
get
never
one
seen him,
legit
so I
base
don't
knock.
know. But
I think I could get a base knock in 10 attempts.
I find that hard to believe as well.
In 10 attempts? Well, the strategy is I just try and foul off most of the pitches and get the pitcher tired or leave one right over the plate, and then I just try and make good contact.
Have you swung at someone that can throw over 90 miles an hour?
Yeah.
That, like, the ball was going over 90 when they threw it to you?
When I played American Legion ball. And a few pitchers when I was in high school, but everyone we played against American Legion ball was top in high 80s, 90s, like, because a lot of them were high school seniors and college freshmen.
Hmm.
Now, did I get a whole lot of hits?
Is it raining?
Not
still?
necessarily.
It is. Was. I
It's
don't know.
doing what
Yeah.
it is that it does.
God damn, son.
It's Santa's tears.
Son of a bitch. You get all this fucking rain tonight, and it's supposed to fucking snow tomorrow for Christmas Eve, and it doesn't look like it's going to.
Whoa, whoa, whoa.
Sons of bitches.
When are we releasing this? Is tomorrow going to be Christmas Eve?
I guess it doesn't matter.
Tomorrow is
It's the
whatever day.
23rd. It's the 23rd.
And Spencer would. Or
Nah,
Gene,
okay.
my bad.
It's over. My life's over. It's ruined. I'll never work again. Now that you said the name.
Gene.
Gene Unit. Spencer Pratt. Like creepy flesh-colored chin beard, Spencer Pratt. Remember him? From The Hills, the MTV show. Joel McHale would always make fun of him on The Soup.
Joel
Oh,
McHale.
I never saw The Hills.
What about The Soup?
I watched The Suit.
He was like his go-to, like, you know, creepy flesh-colored chin beard, Spencer Pratt. He was the boyfriend from The Hills.
Could be.
He's like
it may
one-
not register because I.
He's
didn't
like the
know who
only
he
one
was.
of like two
It
famous
didn't register
Spencers there
when
ever
he
were.
would do it, so it didn't mean anything to me.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean?
It just kind of sucks because I'm kind of there aren't many famous Spencers, so like I kind of get associated with him sometimes.
Mm.
He was a huge fag.
Well, Ray rhymes with gay, so
Yeah, you're right. I actually can't imagine.
Spencer Frat.
I actually can't imagine the
Call that would be a weird insult.
bullshit you probably had to go through in like elementary school sometimes.
It wasn't very creative.
Ray, more like gay.
Well, yeah, but after you've heard that, and if you're not like already having issues with other things in your life, you can probably just kind of be like, yeah, like, thanks, I've heard that 50 times today, like, I'm no longer offended, like, just try something else.
Yeah, that's what it was just like, yeah, try it, like...
You go like full scorched earth, like cowboy, like, that's as common as the air I breathe. Like, just... like
you think calling me gay is your friend?
Yeah.
You're an ally. I was born in it.
Raised
molded by it.
Molded by it. It's as common as the air I breathe. It's as common as the air my lungs take in.
Now, I will break you.
In fact, when there's full silence, all I hear is, race gay, repeated over and over in the sound of 30 anonymous.
It makes me stronger.
It has made a permanent imprint into my audio.
It's like if I ever have a mental breakdown, I'll just be muttering, race gay, gay Ray, race gay.
It's literally
super gay Ray.
I'll just be typing it out over and over.
It's made
again.
a permanent,
like The Shining, just
imprint into my audio.
Like when his
database.
light flashes before his eyes, like 30 seconds of that flash by is different people calling him gay.
Ray's gay,
in
Ray
different
gay.
ways. That's
Ray,
like,
more like gay.
Just more like
Just
gay
like
Ray.
gay Ray, big gay Ray, Ray's gay.
Ray
Just
gay.
like a bunch of just like,
Ray, more like gay.
just on a loop.
Yeah.
Just like every 10-year-old boy that said that to you.
Oh yeah, well, all of them.
Oh my god, dude.
All
That's brutal.
Ray Rose is gay. Must be you.
That was a pretty creative young kid, so
Yeah.
I could generally come up with something to say back to most names.
It
Some
puts you
names
on the
are hard
spot a
to-
decent amount.
Some names are hard to
Probably hit
to make
a
fun
kid
of,
with
though.
like
Like Tucker. Just when you said Ray. I thought
Fucker.
Yeah, exactly.
There are plenty to make fun
There's
of.
a bunch of
just
names
be like,
that are like...
hey,
No, I meant like...
Ray's
like,
tough
they're
because
just
gay.
some,
Tucker's
like-
tough because a fucker.
like I might be gay, but you had to use your hands to count on the math test.
What about
like?
what about the other names like Ray and Tucker that were easy?
To make fun of?
Yeah, what other names?
I don't know. I remember my grandpa telling me when he was in school, there was a girl, her name was I'm a Car, and guys would go up to her and say, well, I'm a tow truck, baby.
Oh my god.
Let me drag you like a savage.
Let me
beast
drag you
across the
home. Let me drag you unwillingly home.
But I don't know.
God.
Like, if your name was...
No. If a tow truck is dragging the car willingly, because
Yeah,
otherwise
true,
it'd be
true.
like the tires would be on fire.
Mm.
So
It'd
it was
just be like,
consensual.
yeah,
Let me take,
Grand
let me
Theft
take you
Auto.
home. Let me take you home, girly.
It was just in
I
the
don't know.
60s,
I don't
that's
know
as
another name
dirty
it's
as you could
easy to
get.
make fun of.
Do you know, I hear they had a lot of premarital sex then too. It was just not talked about.
Oh, yeah.
Like in the 50s and stuff and before. It come to find, people between the ages of 16 and 19 tend to want to have sex. It's almost like it's built into our DNA, but no matter what you tell
Well, that
them...
and retirement homes have insanely high STD rates, so it's not just between 16 and 19.
Like
it's
the-
pretty
well,
much
that's when
just...
the initial urge is the
Yeah,
highest.
It's like the Olympic villages.
Mm.
They're
Nah,
all
not
there
that
together.
bad. That's just a fuck fest.
Straight
they
up
say.
orgy.
You'd be surprised there aren't more pregnant female athletes come out of that. But I guess
There
like,
are-
who
a
knows?
lot do come out of
Who
it.
knows? Like,
There are
like
a
it's
lot
one
of
those-
them that say that that's where it was conceived.
But the thing is, like they have the conception, and then the Olympics is over 2 weeks later, so like it
Yeah.
didn't really affect them at all.
Like, who was it? Was it Landon
And they got
Donovan?
4
Was it
years
LeBron
until the
James?
next one.
Like, was it Derek Jeter? Like, what? She was like, I don't know. There were 5 men in the room. I can't remember which one said they finished inside of me.
I like you named like all the athletes in the Olympics that probably didn't stay in the Olympic Village.
Yeah.
Like they all had like a fucking hotel room. So, like those people are not sleeping in the fucking
You're right.
Olympic
You're
Village.
right. It was definitely like Darren Williams,
It's
like one of the lower
like
team
the
USA
guy that
guys.
runs the third leg in the 4x100 relay.
Uh-huh.
The
They all have
swimmer,
to stay in the
the
Olympic
swimmers,
Village.
the
I don't
swimmers
think they
to stay
have
there.
to. I
Back
think it's
then
just
they do.
provided.
Mhm. No, they do. It's part of it.
They have to.
They got to know they're not
Oh,
taking performance enhancing shit because they check them when they come in.
Well, yeah, but they just pee test them for all that.
Well, and isn't the Olympic Village like they just block off a block or two of the city, and they stay in hotels in that area? they're just close to each other. It's not like a village, like a tents they set up or some shit. Like, it's just an area in the city that they all stay.
I imagine it like when I went to the ski town in Colorado, and there was legit like a village of shops and things right by the resort, and that's what I want it to be like in my head.
Like an actual village that has like a...
But it's set up as like
a bakery.
Yeah, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's the Olympic athlete village, like...
There's always like a thin film of snow on the ground. Store.
Yeah, for sure. Well,
like,
in the winter ones.
Candles in the windows. Yeah.
Absolutely. There's restaurants. Only they can go to.
A bakery, restaurant.
It's like a town, though. It feels like it's a town.
General store.
Like it goes all the time.
Even a gas station.
It's got maybe a touch of a Disneyland feel, too.
Yes, like Main Street,
USA. You know exactly what I'm talking about.
You know it. Yeah, I know what you mean.
But I know Ray's going to tell me that that's not the way it works. But in my mind's eye...
Like your own little slice of
I was listening. I was trying to figure out if they had to stay in the Olympic Village. Nowhere does it say they have to. Just says it's there for them and only athletes and coaches are allowed in it.
Are there towns like that in Rado?
Oh, towns like what?
Like
what I just described?
The little slice of Americana, like you got your general store, your bakery.
What was the town we walked through where Tyler just comes out? I don't know. Can we just say other people's names? Where he walks out just eating a bell pepper like an apple.
That he probably bought at the general store.
That was
I have no idea what the name. But that was it had like one restaurant, a general store. It had a little museum, a gunslinger museum.
I love that shit.
Had like maybe one stoplight.
I've always wanted to. Ever since I saw
all the buildings were made of brick, I think.
Ever since I saw Welcome to Mooseport, I've been wanting to.
Yeah, but there was
I've wanted to be a mayor of a little town.
I went to a ski town like that in the mountains.
Well, that's in Alaska, so
that's my own dream.
I think it was Vail.
That's a good movie.
It was Vail, Colorado.
Classic Ray Romano and Ray Romano, or was it John
Riley?
No, it was Gene Hackman.
Was it?
It was not John Ritter.
Okay, it was Ray Romano.
It was John C. Riley.
Yeah.
Okay.
The best person to play golf, and the former president finds out that his golf handicap is not what he thought it. Like they've been lying to him the whole time.
Really?
Yeah, like he hits a ball and like the Secret Service guy like grabs it and like throws it.
Oh my God! Trump should have taken advantage.
Because Ray Romano thinks they have the same handicap, and he's like, "So we'll just play straight up." And he's like, "Okay, we'll play straight up." And then his ex, like the president's ex-wife, comes out, and she's like, "Boys!" And they all come out, and she's like, "You're playing a fair game," and the dude can't golf.
Ray kicks his ass.
I don't think Trump has ever golfed without cheating. That's what everyone says.
Oh, really?
Like Rick Riley, the guy from ESPN, wrote a book about how Trump cheats at golf. It's that way.
I can see that.
Like a lot of times he owns the course record because he's the first person to play a course he opens. So he set the first course record because he was the first one to play it.
Well, and that's one of
those... And he cheats and makes up the score.
That's one of those things that's like...
They said he never plays his own ball like twice.
That's one of those things that's a good analogy of like how he treats people in life. Like when somebody's a shitty, greedy, slimy person, you say, that dude cheats at golf. Like that's the lowest thing that somebody can do. Cheating at golf. Golf is a gentleman's game. Like... part of the rules is like you're playing in good faith.
A win without actually beating the person isn't a win.
Exactly.
Like someone, like his daddy fucked that lesson up. Like whenever somebody was like, no, see, when you cheat and you win, you actually lost because what you did was you made the rules just fit you and not person B over here.
Yes.
So you actually didn't win. You just made it so that you won.
Yeah.
And you cheated. Mm-hmm. And you should feel bad.
That the way he explained it? Because that was a little hard to follow. Because I could see how Trump didn't get the lesson. If that's the way you worded it to like a 7-year-old, that 7-year-old's not getting that.
You gotta follow the same rules. If nobody follows the same set of rules, you can never tell who's the actual best.
Johnny,
hey kid, it's cheap.
Same thing with
it's cheap.
Same thing with Trump and how he uses the markets and gets loans from shady places like. And people will say, well, if he knows how to skirt the rules, more power to him. No.
That's the whole point.
The whole point, what like describes greatness and success in somebody is somebody who is successful and plays by the rules. Like Warren Buffett.
Is Sabonis dropping 32 tonight.
What describes greatness?
Did he drop 32?
Mm-hmm.
No,
if you're talking Sabonis, the only great one is Arvydas, and you can keep that little knockoff Sabonis' name about your mouth.
Speaking of, just a little side story. I'll try not to get too specific with this, but one of my sister's friends, we found out, dog sits for Brogdon.
Oh, really?
She was going over there for 2.5 weeks. He was handing her the leash.
And had
she
no
just
idea
found
who
out
he
the other
was.
day. It's fucking probably the second, besides Sabonis, the second most popular guy on the Pacers team.
No.
Yeah.
Most popular or best?
Oladipo.
Most popular.
No, best. Second best. I give you that.
Yeah, I give you second best, but not Oladipo's by far the most popular.
No, I said. Did I say second?
Most people are.
Did I say second?
Don't ever underestimate a white, slightly above average star on the Pacers.
I meant third.
True.
Oladipo.
People like Sabonis, but Oladipo's I guarantee sells more jerseys.
I meant third. Oladipo, Sabonis, and then Brogdon.
I'd like to see the stats.
Speaking of, dude.
When I was looking for I was looking for Dylan a Kenny Moore jersey for Christmas.
Who?
The cornerback for the Colts.
Oh, that's why I don't know.
And couldn't find him anywhere.
I looked him up when you said his name, and he's like...
He was AFC Defensive Player of the Week last week.
He's main up-and-comers.
That's why...
in the NFL.
I bet that's why it was sold out at the Pro
jersey,
Shop.
Because it's... Yeah, because they only had probably like 4 of his jerseys. They didn't have a whole size.
But they don't sell Colts jerseys in this town, apparently.
Yeah, that's bullshit.
I found a Steelers jersey and a Burrow jersey.
We are closer to Cincinnati than Indianapolis.
That's true. But, so...
But really, we're not closer to either
Luckily, our boy
one.
Gene here
We're not closer to either one because this is not
Indianapolis.
Stopped in his local town, and they had them there.
Came through. Hold up, though. Have y'all seen this new Oladipo jersey? I saw it at
Pacers
Lids.
jerseys, and all they had were Oladipo.
I saw this at Lids today.
Yeah, but that might be just because that's all they've had for years. That was the same ones.
It was the new pinstripe. That's the new City jersey.
When you see that in person, it's actually a lighter blue.
It is light. That's what I was just about to say because that's the ones they had. It was the new ones.
It's like the blue of the Warriors jerseys.
It's not quite that light, but it's not that dark.
They're dope as shit.
Yeah, I
saw one at Lids today. I almost bought it. Yeah, those are sick. Probably the coolest Pacers jerseys within the last 25 years.
Yeah, but there's no one on that team worth fucking watching.
I know, but the jerseys are dope now.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, the third best player.
Sabonis probably has a PER of less than 20. That's why the Pacers suck. Like, their best players, not very good.
But anyway, she's been going to his house in Keystone for the last, 3 weeks.
What's his address?
She has his gate code.
Could I get his cell phone number?
Ooh.
Well, there's a chance. I don't know if you know Rover. It's like Uber for dog watching.
Why would I?
I
don't own a dog, nor in a city where they'd have that, Spencer.
You can choose to have people stay over.
Gene, I'm sorry.
You can choose to have people stay over, and it's only a matter of time until he has her stay over. She gets fucking a night in a mansion. The place is huge. It was
cute.
1.7 million.
My cousin's back when Reggie still played for the Pacers, my cousin's friend house sit or dog sit, one of the two for him.
For who?
For Reggie.
Really?
Yeah.
That's cool.
That is pretty cool.
Well, the deal
she
is
had
with
an autographed
him,
picture
it's his
of them
wife
too, in his doorway.
who has the account.
I got you.
So, it's in her name, but
smart.
he's the one who, hands her the leashes and stuff. Didn't even realize.
And you know what?
That's crazy about Reggie.
What he was shooting.
That's cool.
And that one girl
That's
I worked with
probably
at
why
the
they
pool
picked
had Anthony Davis' cell phone number.
A person that does not look like they follow athletics very much. I think that's fair to judge.
She's actually a huge LeBron Lakers fan.
Really?
Yeah, so she said, she was like, well, I'm wearing my Lakers jersey over. I didn't even realize he was a fucking
I was going to make a
player.
joke, but you know what? It was going to be cheap at this person's expense, and it also partially identifies Gene over here, so perhaps it's not a good joke to make.
Yep. It's like I haven't been identified 5 times already. You're going to have to cut some stuff out.
I'm not. I don't.
I think we're good if we don't say the full name.
It's true.
Let's be honest.
And there's no video evidence.
There's billions of people.
Plausible deniability.
Yeah.
Plausible deniability. That's all you need.
I mean, we don't want to do it
I doubt
regularly.
anyone's going to listen anyway.
10,000 people are going to give us.
Well, no one that we knows going to.
I mean, you not to
your parents are not gonna
our
your boss
friends.
No, by the point
town,
people would know, we would have made enough money from this that we won't.
Yeah, that you won't give a fuck.
Yeah, exactly.
That's the
You're right. Yes,
that's the golden way.
That's spot
and
on.
the truth is, there's no money coming from this.
Although
Don't have that
I
attitude.
was watching a what's pickleball? You remember pickleball?
Yeah.
We played it. I was listening to a pickleball podcast.
It's actually
Turn
what
away from the Mac if you're gonna do that. It's loud.
Yeah, that is
recording.
loud. But I was listening to a pickleball podcast because the dude from Survivor is now a professional pickleball player.
Who is it?
Tyson.
I don't know.
But the dude that runs it goes by like Chet or something like that, and he wears like a hat and sunglasses. And the guy was like, "So what's your real name?" Because I know it's not Chet. He's like, "Yeah, I'm not telling you my real name. I don't want." And it just reminded me of old John over here.
I love people not using their real name. I'm a big fan of that.
Very discreet.
You know, it's your life. If you want to be someone else,
If you want to choose, if you make that choice to be trans, old
man.
Gene over here.
When he said
Not
that,
getting-
earlier,
I'm not getting-
I jumped. The woke libtard in me just jumped full. Cucks out. It's like whoa, choice. It's a choose.
Cucks blazing.
Choose. It's not a choice.
Well, I mean, scientifically and technically, it is a choice. It's a decision
you're
make.
born either male or female.
No, it's a decision that you consciously make to transition. That's a choice.
It's gonna be a
You
spicy.
You were
episode.
born either male or
I'm,
female.
like I said,
I
I'm
was
not,
born
I'm not
with a
getting
little
into
hat.
that. That's
I
not,
am
that's
on a
not for the
platform,
podcast.
and people pay me lots of money to speak very quickly about topics that some people find controversial. And I think that gay people don't have rights. Okay, I'm Ben Shapiro.
Basically.
I'm Ben Shapiro.
Yeah, basically.
I'm Ben Shapiro, and this has been Little Head News.
Mm-hmm.
feet pics.
This is
I love that exists. That's my favorite. I love. Thank you, Internet, for producing that. That somehow it's coordinated. AOC's feet pics, which she doesn't post. Like that's not like a normal post from her. I'm sure there's been a couple posts where someone like just screenshotted it right and got
Oh,
like
yeah,
their feet or
for
something.
sure.
Like it wasn't even part of the idea. And then they attached Ben Shapiro with that.
It's probably the TikTok teens. They're pretty savvy.
Man, I don't care who did it. That's
Did you
fantastic.
see that?
You gotta know who it is. You gotta
Well, and it's
respect where
so like
respect's
conservatives are like anti weird sex, and so it's so weird
Oh, yeah,
sex.
dude.
It just plays on that fantastic.
There was one where someone was saying that
It's
he's
great.
going to transition himself into AOC so that he can finally get the feet pics.
No, into AOC's feet.
No, yeah, he was going to transition
His
his
whole
entire
body.
self into AOC
AOC's
so he
feet.
can finally get the feet pics.
interesting.
No, just her feet.
No,
he was
his
going to try
whole-
and
the whole thing.
transform his entire body.
Yeah,
just to be AOC's feet.
yeah,
Like,
just to get them feet pics.
like he's gonna get surgery just to like make himself look like a giant foot, like one of AOC's foots.
I think he needs both of them.
Giant gay bait.
It's feet pics. It's not foot pic. It's feet pics.
I just don't understand the foot. Like a foot. Some people are like, my girlfriend gave me a foot job, and it's like I hope not. Like I get like if you're
I don't
with
know,
like
Hunter
a
Biden. I don't know.
if you're with
Oh.
someone with no arms,
Damn.
like, I understand why that
That's
might.
all they got.
Yo, Jeff Epstein should have hung in there. He'd be a free man tonight.
Oh,
Damn.
that's funny.
That's
accurate.
I mean, it's funny because it's true.
It's 100% accurate.
Oh Lord.
That's what they said.
Oh,
That's exactly what they said. What, do you guys have any thoughts on ordering food?
I would get in on that if that's what we do.
I mean, there's a place called Domino's Pizza that delivers to this address that we're at now.
Do they have
I think
pizza?
I think I might right now.
They've got bread, cheese, and sauce. Some people call it a pizza. I call it food.
Do they still have garlic knots?
They do.
That might be a thing.
They do have those. That's a thing.
Sounds kind of good.
Oh yeah.
I don't know. It might not be good enough though.
We could have Domino's pizza?
They're not a sponsor, by the way.
Domino's Pizza.
We just
You can have
They
sex
deliver.
with it. You can shove it in your ass. You can roll it up into a calzone and make it into an ass funnel. Domino's
Oh.
Pizza, it's for your
I
butt.
bet Domino's would make a kick-ass calzone. I like calzones.
Before or after you shove them into your ass?
I'd rather them come out the ass after they've been eaten.
That's the wrong order.
No, sir. Calzones are solid.
Why would you take a flat object and make it perfectly enema-shaped if it was not designed to be consumed ass first?
What about a calzone looks enema-shaped to you? It's like that.
I don't know how you do it.
Have you
Like a
seen an
triangle
enema?
Have you seen a calzone?
Yes. I've seen both.
A real Italian calzone or
Yeah.
a Sbarro calzone?
A real Italian.
Oh, I
calzone.
happened upon the Sbarro. There's a calzone. I'm a calzone expert, Dr. Ray Calzone, PhD in the calzones.
An enema. This is a tube that goes up your butt.
Much.
And a calzone
Much
is a half
like
a circle.
calzone.
That's a puffy, like, half a circle.
No, you've been in the Sbarro line too much, dog. I'm here to tell you that in Italy, at least, that those two things are synonymous.
Okay. I don't know where my phone is, so I can't Google a picture.
If you've
of a
never
sal-
had an
a calzone.
Italian pizza suppository, also known as the calzone, I don't know what to tell you. You're an uncultured swine.
An uncultured swine.
You've never had an
Calzone.
Italian pizza suppository.
Huh, it looks like a half a circle to me.
We're talking about the same thing. That's what I don't understand.
That's an authentic calzone.
Yeah.
Also known as a spicy Italian suppository.
A spicy Italian biscuit
Suppository.
suppository where you put what?
You put that in your ass.
Ah, I see now. So
It's perfectly shaped. I don't understand why we have this disagreement every time. Every time we order
This
from
is
Domino's,
an
like, do
enema.
they have a calzone?
And that's
I'm
an
like,
enema that you can buy.
I mean,
I don't
kind
understand.
of.
I don't
Yeah.
understand. To me, I saw the picture of one. I saw the picture of the other. You could switch the order and I'd get them wrong.
There's a how-to on to
How-to
do an
insert.
enema.
Why are you showing me
I
some
think
spicy
it's
Italian
insightful.
I think you're
suppositories?
going to get
You never know when you might need that. Should have taken just a quick mental snapshot of that. Put it on the back burner. You might need it in 20
I mean, why do you think those are in the same line as the pizza from Sbarro's? You're not supposed to eat the calzone.
And this is how you consume a calzone.
Dude, Sbarro's is chronic.
Sbarro's is good. I wish if the mall had a Sbarro's, I would low-key order pizza from Sbarro's.
Dude, the
and go
little,
get it.
little
good.
pretzel shack's not terrible.
Dude,
Is
the
that even
pretzel
sold?
twist.
I have no idea.
It is.
Yeah, but
Pretzel
it's not a
twist.
Sbarro.
Dude, yes, dude.
You're right, it's not a Sbarro.
The Asians run that place.
The pretzel place at the
Dude.
mall is not a Sbarro.
I am not kidding. I've tested it. That place
No
has
reason
better
to-
pretzels
to-
than
I've
Auntie Anne's.
tested it.
No, it doesn't.
Yes, it does.
That sourdough
I
pretzel.
put it through a
from Auntie Anne's,
77
dude,
Dude,
point-
the
so
pretzel
fucking
twister
good.
hooks it up.
Did you look at it underneath a microscope? Or are you 420 fooling?
I don't look at my food under a microscope.
Well, then how did you test it?
It just tastes better. That's all I need. That's all I need. Man.
The pretzel twist doesn't even serve pretzels.
really do.
They serve twists.
They
pretzels
serve pretzel
in it.
bites.
Pretzel's an adjective.
The pretzel bites.
Pretzel
are-
comes before
the
twist.
cheese is really
Therefore,
The only
it is not a
problem-
pretzel
Part of it
you're
is-
eating a twist.
Pretzel twist serves
I'm
fresh
Shapiro.
nacho cheese out of a machine. Auntie Anne's switch their sauces to some fucked like you get them in packs now. Like it's like preservatives and shit because it's in like a sealed container.
No,
that you peel
your
open.
problem is that it's the other way around. the ones that come, it's like real Wisconsin cheddar in there.
But they're
And then
still
you'd rather
in
have
a
the
sealed
processed
container.
nacho cheese.
But they're still in a container. You get fresh.
Yeah, but the
hot
Auntie Anne's is
nacho
what
cheese.
tastes actually like cheese. You don't want cheese.
Does it actually?
You
though?
want yellow nacho sauce.
It's in one of those fucking like peel containers.
The
Okay,
Fresh.
but I'm arguing that the nacho cheese is not cheese.
It's also possible that
It doesn't
both are
taste
cheap.
like cheese.
It's also
better.
100%.
At the Auntie Anne's, you're getting stuff that tastes like cheese.
But it's half the
And
100%
that's what you don't
half
want.
the time
100%
it's room
possible that
temperature.
neither are cheese.
Yeah, I'm just saying.
I guess
what you're arguing against is that you don't want.
In a way,
cheese.
you're agreeing with me. It's like
no, yeah, I'm not. I'm not arguing with you that one's better than the other.
It's an overarching theme.
I'm just saying that you want the other because you don't want cheese.
It's an overarching theme on how American culture and just gluttonism has ruined our taste. Mainly, we probably eat processed cheese. That's why I prefer the hot processed nacho cheese over the fresh Wisconsin, somewhat room temperature cheese.
I think that's what it is. It's the texture and the temperature
of actual cheese.
If they gave you that Wisconsin cheddar hot and steamy for you to stick your
no, I think you guys is still the same.
You would be like,
my big problem with it.
But instead, it's
warm.
like the shit's been sitting in a basket.
That's right, and it's not that good.
Other ones here,
it's not that good because it's cold. It's not what you want.
My big problem with it.
It's a texture.
The pretzel bites are so oily and buttery, and the nacho cheese is all oily and shit because it's all processed. That it doesn't stick to it. You don't get in, and you get almost no cheese on your pretzel.
But see, that's where if it was hot, that's right. If it were the way it's supposed to be.
But you have a good point there because that doesn't happen with either.
I think the reason they don't do that is
with real cheese.
Those nacho cheese or the nacho cheese.
I think those nacho cheese
it's because of the grease that's on the pretzels.
It's the pretzel combined with the greasiness of the cheese as well.
It's like how soap works, like hand soap.
You know,
it picks up all the dirt.
It's more like
oil and water. The shit just don't mix.
I was gonna say it's more like getting your frame undercoated with that fucking oil and shit.
Scotch Guard,
because then like the snow and salt and shit doesn't stick to it because it's an oily.
It's like how the grease oil on pretzels works. Yeah, it doesn't pick the cheese up
which is upsetting.
It has that coating,
and that's because it's not the real nacho cheese. Like it's supposed to be.
They never give you enough.
It's because it's not actual cheese.
They never give you enough either.
You gotta ask for extra.
Yeah, it's the main issue. As with everything with America, you never have quite enough of what you need.
I have no idea how long.
I think the problem is actually the opposite, Spencer. Is that we have too much of everything,
but we don't give it to the right people.
Well, no, just we just have too much, just in general.
Yeah, we're at 42 minutes. That's not bad.
Already?
Yeah, you count in ads, and we're at an hour-long episode of a TV show.
That's a good pilot.
It's a good barometer.
You know what? 42 minutes? Are you sure?
42 minutes and 27
seconds.
Longer
than most of the episodes of The Mandalorian.
Nowadays.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm good with shutting this down and getting that Domino's order in before Hillary comes and eats the kids.
So we're pausing?
We can pause and come back after.
Are you sure we're 40? Did we really start this at 9:45?
It's 42 minutes and 50 seconds in. It's counting the time the whole time.
There's a timer.
Wow, dude.
Yeah, I had it on something else.
That's easier than I thought.
Apparently, it was recording us in the key of C major before, and I switched it to time, and then I was like, 43 minutes.
We should have gone with the C major thing.
I'm sure it was still in C.
Yeah, we'll get a little.
Now it was showing.
We'll get a little timeout. Get a little timeout to order. We'll pop back on, and
And we will talk
finish
to
her out.
You wonderful people.
I'm kind of thinking thin crust
on the other side.
A lot of sinners in the room, though, so they'll probably get terrible pizza choices.
You know what? Actually, that sounds good. I'm just not anything too crazy, just maybe some basic cheese thin crust.